Hi there, everyone. Um, I think I would love somebody to tell me if they can see me or hear me, because we've certainly had a few blurps in the past, and it has been advised to me to ask before I start. So if any of you could just reach out and say we can hear you, that would be really great. I have, well, let's put it this way. It's a holiday in England. Thank you, Lisa, for telling me. And I don't know how many people will be with us today, but it's a new beginning for this process of the colors of the feminine. As I've said before, on YouTube, we went through a series of the feminine aspect of color, which included a visualization and guidance meditation and going through colors and learning how to perceive the deeper aspect of what color is relevant to your soul consciousness. So then I thought, okay, we're going to see if we can paint those colors. And today we're going to do orange and see what happens. It's interesting about orange. It's like the color of sunshine, invigorates, really powerful color. And we started it last Friday, and I've done a little bit of adding different leaf colors onto it, gold, copper, silver. But as you've seen before, often this changes. But I filmed it, so I'm going to show you that right now, and then we'll begin and take it further. Here we go. I don't know whether you can hear me on this. Lisa, can you let me know again? Because I can overlay a mic and talk you through it if you don't hear anything. So what you're seeing right now is me putting down copper leaf. And there's special, great. Thank you, Lisa. There are different ways of getting the leaf, the metal leaf. And I like to use the one that has the white paper, as you can see, so that it doesn't go blowing everywhere. And I did do a gold leaf course once upon a time to do it like the ancient masters did, like this little silver, bit of silver. That's the old code, which caught me off guard because there is a specific way of doing it. It requires a brush that you create static on your arm, and then you can pick it up. And I have one, but I didn't take it out because I had thought that I had silver on the back with paper. So this is a bit of the process. I'd already put gold size, which is the glue for gold leaf and copper leaf and silver leaf. And you have to wait until it's a bit sticky, which it was. And I'm just, as you know, I have to just follow my intuition as to what I put and when I put it, and this is what we're going to work on today, because and it's quite possible that it disappears. So I'm going to bring you back to a multiple image so we can start with exploring the color of orange from a feminine point of view. And here we are in just a second. So I'm going to just let orange take over for a bit, and it's in a way a color of transformation, and I'm going to let it flow. And there are many different tones that we can use, and it's like the flame of the sun, of the soul. I'm going to use a bit of terps, see where this goes. It's like we have to, when we greet this from a consciousness creative point of view, we have to allow the doorway to our soul to open. And they say that in the color healing that I studied, that if you're a very sensitive person, if your nerves are a bit inflamed, it's probably best when you work with it to, they say, use some blue. So, just to be safe, oops, that's very blue. You have to have a lot of courage to paint this way, especially if someone's watching you. Hi, B. Vane. Nice you could join in. We're painting the feminine aspect of orange with any luck. If you've seen some of the other three that we've done, it can start as though it's cat's meat. No offense, cat's meat. And I'll take this as far as I can. And if anyone's come late, then it will be on the replay. Goodness, what a mess. Sorry. Well, it'll be nice to see where this turns out. How it does. Supposedly, orange brings us the freedom to be what we are born to be, our soul. It's quite powerful. Hi Isabel, welcome. Orange is quite powerful. and it links us to the magic of life, the spirit. But this is, well, so much for gold leaf, eh? So for people coming late, we're working with the feminine impulse of what orange, from the feminine principle, that is, will bring to us. It's the flame of the heart. Very intense. In the healing that I worked with, orange was very rarely used in any other. Boy, I'm not speaking very well today. It's used in the spleen, because if you are really low in energy, orange to the spleen, you can put your hands over your spleen, which is on the left side of your body, just below the rib cage, and visualize orange, like the orange of a marigold. But as you know, this takes layers and layers of letting it dry. Right now, it is getting very wet. What I'd like to do is, one second, I want to put a bit of spirit into the cap of this minute. Oops. And then I'm going to mix some orange into it so it's really watered down. For some reason it doesn't want to do that. I just have to check something. It's either that, yeah, sometimes if I've accidentally put acrylic into my palette, it won't mix, but maybe it's the terps. I might have to get different terps, because this is not diluting. Don't know if you can see that. Where am I? I'd have to be over here. Can you see that? Okay, because it's just not breaking down like what I wanted it to do. It's getting there. You have to be very patient. I mixed some of the linguine with it, but it looks like it's getting looser, but it looks like the color is changing as well. Can you see that? I have to show you it. Da, 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 da. Come that way, come this way. You see? Oops, come back. Where am I? I have to go up there for you to see it. And it's a lot brighter. So I don't know why it's done that, and it's gone really weird. I don't know if I'm going to use this. Do you know I'm going to have to get new spirit, because I'm sure that's the problem. Because it's all, you know how when you're making a sauce, when you're cooking and the butter breaks up, or your scrambled eggs go crazy? Well, hi Erica. It's happening to this, and it's never been an experience I've had before. Well, do we test it? Okay. I want to do that. I want to let it flow and see what's going to happen. Interesting. This side looks interesting. This side is a bit lumpy. It's like giving it a bit of a dimension, a softness at the same time. This is going to be a really interesting one to come to some form of something, but I trust it. Just wonder how the flame of the soul is going to show up. Are we going to have a being appearing, the eyes of the soul? We shall find out at some point. Where am I? When I taught color healing in Switzerland, I used to have some of the sessions, we'd have playtime with color. And that's what I'm allowing me to do right now. And for everyone coming late, we're playing with the color of orange to reveal the feminine principle towards consciousness. And as you know, with a lot of my work, there's always an acknowledgement of the masculine principle, because it's the marriage of the two with spirit that creativity and consciousness and enlightenment. And I'd have to come back to putting a gold leaf in some other time. And we'll just go with what this is going to be. Anyway, as I said earlier, the true power of the orange is so strong that in a painting you need to bring in blue for people who have a sensitive nervous system. Would need it tempered down a bit. You never know where this is going to go. And for some reason, this orange is acting up. It's like not sticking. But it says that it's oil color. It's sticky. Next time I'll use one of my other ones. The one that we were lost doing, which was started like the gateway, the feminine coal, has now have a name, and it's called Sophia, because she's the feminine aspect of the divine spirit. So, according to Greek mythology and agnostic teachings. Yeah, I thought so too. It came. I go to a meditation group every other Sunday, and each of us, one by one, gives a talk about some topic. And this month it's about the feminine. And the talk on Sunday was to do with the historical aspect from very different viewpoints of Mary Magdalene. That's a great idea, Elizabeth, but I don't have any right now. It's probably out in my garage, but I'm going to try that out when I come back. Thank you. So anyway, Mary Magdalene apparently in some teachings is the feminine aspect of Christ. Some people think that he didn't die. It's quite controversial. Sacrilegious probably for a lot of people. But what I find important is recognizing the feminine aspect of life, which is in both men and women genders. And harmony is to do with the marriage of the masculine and the feminine with our divine aspect, by whatever name you want to call it. Orange is supposed to hold the energy of the gift of our divine spirit. I would imagine it's always a challenge to surrender to it. Thank you, Elizabeth. I'm way in the back of my studio, so I will have to try that out in the next sequence of this. Right now I had to use white spirit from my garage, and I don't think that works. I'm going to have to get new special spirit. So it's orange is calling us to align with our spirit. But as I said earlier, at some point I think I have to add a blue. I tried and it looked horrible. It'll have to be done in the next. No, Elizabeth, the paint isn't old. I just got it last month from Amazon. Maybe their paint is old. Maybe it is old. I don't know. But I will try a few things later. I studied with Cecil Collins, English painter. He's not alive anymore, but you can see a lot of his work at the Tate, the old Tate. And you can sign up, make an appointment to go downstairs and see a lot of his drawings, which Sarah, my third daughter, gave me as a birthday present before lockdown. And it was really special. And they have a really great cafe there, which we haven't been able to go to for a while. I'm looking for someday a little bit of interesting. Well, Elizabeth, when I put I don't know if you were here on the live, when I put the blue in, it certainly made some of this brown. So I'm going to wait. This is all, I know that this is going to soften up somehow to make the power of the light of the orange to hold the softness and the power of the feminine. What's so important is that the masculine principle has definitely the negative side of the masculine principle is in balance. In order for it to come back, the feminine principle, both in the man and the woman, need to become equals. The thing is, women have this energy of possibility of creation within, and it's said on many occasions that we have to work on ourselves. Because we have the archetypal energy of being misused, suppressed, owned, and we have to work on releasing that before we were to start being a messenger of the light, because we need also love for the masculine principle in ourselves. Because the masculine principle makes things more visible. And we have to work together in it. Well, that's quite a mess. But not really, because it's the foundation of whatever is going to happen. But I really appreciate everyone's input. I'm always learning. Hi, Becky. And I will definitely wait to add any blue to this. Plus, I don't know what is going to happen with the orange. That's true, Elizabeth. We haven't seen Becky for a while. I feel like we have a growing family all over the world and within time-space continuum. I think we're going to have to let this dry so that we can play more with it. I wish that the colors were clearer for what you could see. Becky, I'm doing Being Creative, watching me paint live every Friday at 4 o'clock in the UK and Monday, which it is today. At one point on the weekend, I saw this light coming down and an angel being up there, but she seems to disappear today. But as we've seen in other things, like on Sophia, her face appeared and then disappeared, and this spiral came and then it went, and now it came back. So who knows? We just have to trust. That's the process that I've been trained in. And that's what I want to reveal to you. And a lot of times the creative process is to do with waiting and waiting and waiting, and don't fill it in. And just let it develop and then let it go if the energy doesn't seem right. I've had to do it so many times on sculptures, other paintings. I have one on my website called Sea of Souls. That painting was quite an old one. When I was living in Bilsham farmhouse, and there came a time, and I was playing with a lot of different resins and other chemicals, and there was this one moment that I thought, oh, I think this is going to be a masterpiece. And I poured the last bit of resin on it, and suddenly it just all bubbled up like a dried riverbed. And I'd been working on that for some time. What a lesson, an alchemical lesson. And it took me 5 years to go back and sand that off and start again with greater cautions about things. And it's on my website now. It's called The Sea of Souls, if you want to have a look. Lordy, lordy. Don't want that one. I'm just playing with some of the terps. Well, I'm afraid intuitively this is supposed to disappear. Something is definitely not right. It's definitely that terps. Yep. After this, I'm going on Amazon because the art shop is too far away within the COVID restrictions. Yeah, I have no idea, Becky. It's in my painting studio in plastic boxes that I use quite often. No, I really think it's the yes, Ginger, this turpentine, because it isn't cleaning the brushes either. So something's not right. We shall let you know on Friday. That's true. We could do that. I wonder if... Let's see something. That's a nice color. Well, I'm afraid I don't think I have those two specifically. And it's always a test of what color actually comes. It's not quite as what the theory wants us to be, so I don't mind this color showing up. Yeah, there is this something going on. Because it's quite possible. It's a builder's terps that I had, because I ran out of the other normal one that's odorless that I usually use. And I wouldn't be surprised if they water it down. I'm going to do a Zoom class using clay to go through the process of becoming. We'll be putting up the link quite soon. Interesting this is. I like adding this color. Thank you, Elizabeth. Yeah. The great thing about this process, though, is you let it dry. I put a glaze over the top so that there's a light glaze, and then you can paint again. You're not intermixing like what would happen if you were using watercolor. Well, the light's starting to show up, that's for sure. I don't know if you can really see that up there. It looks... yeah. I want to, that's a good idea, Becky. I'm going to turn it around so that you can see another angle. That's what I've been seeing. Cecil Collins, my art teacher of many years, life drawing, actually life, the art of life, used to have us do that. And then we'd have to start painting on it in the other direction. He put us through a lot of different letting go things. I love him to bits. I'm so grateful to have known him and his wife. And he used to only paint fools and angels. And the fool was clear perception, and the angel was the purity and the highest of the innocence of being human. So I think that's all I can do on this week. But for people who haven't been here, I will show you Sophia. I'll put that to the side, make sure my hands are clean. Yep. And what I will do is put a different camera up. Oh, that's why. Sorry. Yeah, this is Sophia. And she started, as most people can see, she started just with blue swirls. And some of the other ones, the first one that we did for the feminine of gold is somewhere. Hang on a minute. And they're all on YouTube, so you can see the making, the becoming of them week after week. So we've got the gold here. That was number 1. That started just being completely gold. And then the face appeared. And then other things started to happen. And then number 2 was indigo, because indigo is the eternal knowledge of life. And just set this aside. And here we have Aurora. That was number 2 for indigo, the feminine quality of indigo. She was quite a feat to achieve. And then, as I said, the 3rd one was Aurora. She's supposed to have been white, but she's the gateway. And this Aurora, Sophia is actually the call of the feminine heart. And one never knows how the colors interrelate in making these things appear. So, I have to say, yeah, Sophia, the 3rd one. That's this lovely being here, which you're not seeing right now. So at some point, I will put them up on ArtPal so that you could get prints made if you so desire. And a lot of my other artwork is on artpal.com. And you can either buy the originals or get a copy on paper or canvas or yeah Becky, they started off as symbols, and you were watching the becoming of what was to appear in the color, because indigo, Aurora, was all indigo at the beginning, and then things started to appear, and she seemed like more of a symbol. So when it came to doing Sophia, which I'll show you again, this was an amazing experience of it coming, because she wasn't there originally. I didn't want to get into like doing a formula that everyone has to have that type of face and things. And it's she just appeared because I didn't think there was going to be a face at all, because it felt like I would be putting something on there from a mental point of view as opposed to an experience of being the messenger of what was to be born. So her eyes appeared, and then with a bit of resistance I thought, okay, I see it, I'm going to put the nose on. All right, I'll put a mouth. And I am so happy, but the main thing is where it came from within me. It was born without a mental intention of I'm going to do a face. It appeared, and I just love it to bits. So, and I'm very happy to share that process with you. So I don't know what orange is going to become. But I hope to see you on Friday. And I hope the week is a really good one. Next week, oh no, it wasn't. This week was the Greek Easter. And it's means a lot to my family because we spent so much time on roads. normally we make kaloria, which is a Greek biscuit, and you make red eggs, and each day something is part of the ceremony coming up to Sunday, where you have a really big feast. And on Saturday night, what we used to have to do, we walk to the church, beautiful Greek Orthodox church, and you'd be handed a candle and you'd light it there, and then you'd have to walk through the village, and often it was windy, and you'd be holding it, you know, getting it back, and then you get to your door, and you'd, with the blackness of the flame, you do a cross, which would bring you protection for the rest of the year. And also you'd have that red egg, where there was a competition where you'd have to, everyone who had a red egg would hit the other's red egg until whoever was the one that lasted the long would be the one with the greatest luck. So it's a very special time in Greece when we were there for Easter. So have a great week till Friday. Maybe I'll see you on Wednesday on my live, or I'll see you tomorrow night at Matthew's live. We're quite busy with the creative, inspiring lives for us all to be together, because that's where friendship lies, and happiness about being living alive, I should say. So thank you once again for coming, and may the power of the orange help you walk gracefully into the flame of your heart and your soul. Thank you. Goodbye. Hi Carmen, thank you for coming. I'm just switching things now. Ta-da. She says. There we go.